Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm getting feedback. That's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Is it doing it on your end? Let's see if I turn down the sound. If anybody's here, tell me if you're getting feedback, like my voice twice. It's never done that before, so I'm not sure why it's doing it. But welcome in, welcome in. Go ahead and say hello in the chat. This is gonna drive me crazy if I have to listen to my voice repeat everything that I say. This is so me. If you know me, this is so me because technology and we don't connect. So if you're here, I see we have 3 people. Let me know in the chat if my voice is repeating, if you're hearing my voice echo, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I finally figured out how to go into my notification, but, yeah, this is so me. I don't wanna back out because then it takes away the yeah, see, I can hear my voice. Can you even hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know. Is anybody out there? If it's you people, if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, put something in the chat. Put something in the chat. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that second voice. So I got 2 people that are in, and I'm so glad. Maybe I'll just get started. Should I just get started and ignore? Oh, Lynn, I can hear you. Lynn, can you hear me say things twice? Maybe not. Maybe she doesn't hear me say it twice. Why do I hear an echo? It's like coming from my computer within seconds of me stopping to talk. Okay, I'm gonna get started because it's noon. It's noon. It's True North Tuesday. Today is May 19th. And there's a reason that you don't trust yourself anymore. Lynn sent me a message. No. So I don't know. Lynn can probably share with all of you in the chat how, technology is just my best friend. It's my best friend. It's my best friend ever. So there's a reason you don't trust yourself yet. And it's probably not because your intuition is broken. It's probably because somewhere along the way you learned not to trust yourself. You learned to second guess. You learned to over explain yourself, to ask everyone else's opinion before you asked yourself. And eventually you stopped hearing your own inner compass. Not because it disappeared, but because you went into survival mode. And so many of us are in survival mode right now. Welcome, beautiful souls, to True North Tuesday. Oh, hey there, I'm Lori Lindsay. I'm a spiritual teacher, author, and medium. Lori will never be a nerd. Did I say I was a nerd? Well, as you can see, I do have Star Trek back here. I'm a little bit of a nerd. So today we're going to talk about something I think many people are quietly carrying with them right now, the grief, not trusting themselves, not trusting their decisions, not trusting their intuition in their body, not trusting their feelings, and not trusting the quiet knowing that's already within you. And there's a truth that Spirit keeps saying to me, that you don't wake up one morning and have a knowing. You don't magically wake up trusting yourself. It's something that you build one moment at a time. I'm seeing that. Lynn. Lynn's commenting that I am not I'm not a techno person. I'm not tech I was techno savvy in my youth, but for some reason now, I don't know. I think my energy does weird stuff to technology. So self-trust is something that you don't magically wake up with, you build it, and that you one moment at a time. So we were taught not to trust ourselves. We were conditioned in our world not to trust ourselves. We were taught to be agreeable, to be productive, to be logical, to not disappoint others, to not make mistakes. Heaven forbid if we're too sensitive. I think I was told that phrase. I couldn't count them in 100 lifetimes, how many times I was told I was too sensitive. And you know what? People don't say that to me anymore because they've learned that I'm going to push back, that I'm not too sensitive. I'm in tune with what's going on with me. So, you know what? Intuition whispers within us, and many people immediately override it. So they feel something in their body and then say, oh, no, 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 that can't be right. That can't be right. But that doesn't make us weak because we've been trained not to listen. And some of the things that cause us to break our self-trusting is trauma. Many people have spiritual awakenings after a trauma, a chronic illness, toxic relationships, being gaslit by narcissists, having any kind of illness. It doesn't even have to be chronic. You could go through a heartbreak. You could be consistently told you're wrong. Boy, was I told that a lot. Or you're simply just trying to survive in this world. I'm getting some people that are in the chat. So I'm going to go back to the chat. Yay! The lovely Elizabeth has joined us. Yay. If you don't know who the lovely Elizabeth is, she is my wonderful virtual assistant. So I'm so glad you're here. Lynn, I'm so glad you're here. There's also somebody else that's out there. Feel free to say hello. Feel free to say hello. And if you have questions while I'm talking about this, add them to the comments because I would love for this to become an interactive opportunity for you to share, to you to ask questions, and for me to talk about my experiences too. So we're just talking about things that broke our inner trust. Eventually, the nervous system did learn through all that breaking that maybe I shouldn't trust myself. But healing changes that. It slowly changes it, gently changes it, and it's through safety. You have to have all of those things. And if you don't have those things, again, you're not going to wake up one morning and just say, I totally trust myself. It doesn't work that way. So I think one of the biggest shifts in my spiritual path is you do not need to become somebody else to trust yourself. You already have it. You just need to come home to yourself. Your intuition isn't outside of you. Your wisdom is not outside of you, and your inner compass is not outside of you. It is within you. You already have those skills. You just need to learn to trust it again. It's already in there. But you know what? It's underneath the fear, and it's underneath the noise. There's so much noise in our society right now, and it's underneath all the conditioning. And it makes us feel like, I just can't trust myself. You know what? You can. Slowly you can. And every time you pause, and you take a moment, long enough for you to hear yourself, honestly, you are strengthening that condition. So I'm going to do a short practice with you that you can do anytime you want to do this. So I want you to place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. And we're going to do some breathing. And before we breathe, I want to share with you that if you exhale longer than you inhale, that calms your central nervous system. So let's breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. You're telling your central nervous system, calm down, everything's going to be okay. And you need a calm central nervous system in order to trust yourself again. Now, quietly ask yourself, what would it feel like to trust myself a little bit more today? What would that feel like? I could just trust one decision that my body shared with me, not my mind, but my body. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be forever. Now, noticing what's happening in your body, especially when you're making decisions. If you ever have that tightness in your belly, or that flutter in your chest, or that, oh, I feel at peace. That's your body's way of communicating with you. That's part of trusting your intuition. Intuition is not this woo-woo thing that only certain people have. It is not that at all. It is about you, yourself, listening to yourself. That's it. That's all intuition is. It doesn't have to be, "Oh, I had a vision," or "I'm channeling this message." It doesn't have to be any of that. It could be, "Should I go to this party later today? Is this going to align with my central nervous system? Should I take this job? Should I go to lunch with somebody who's driving me nuts?" All those things have to do with intuition. So, what's happening in your body right now? What's happening in your body? Are you feeling warmth? Maybe an emotion is coming up when you're doing this breathing. Maybe you feel resistance and you're relief. There's no wrong answer. So continue to breathe, and I want you to repeat these things softly. I am learning to trust myself. I do not need the answers to take the next step. My inner compass is still here. I can rebuild trust with myself gently. I'm going to read those again. I'm learning to trust myself. I do not need all the answers to take the next step. My inner compass is right here inside of me. I can rebuild trust with myself gently. So let's breathe again in through the nose, out through the mouth. Do you feel like you're calming? That's the goal. So if this resonated for you, please let me know. You are building a relationship with yourself, and that's what trusting yourself is all about. And it takes courage, real courage. Trust is something, it's not something that we wait for, it's something that we build. We build it one moment at a time, one grounding breath, and one aligned choice at a time. To go deeper, this is the place to go deeper. I have a signature course called How to Trust Your Intuition. And really, that's just a fancy way of saying, I want to trust myself. I want to trust myself. I don't want to second guess decisions. I want to feel good and aligned with where my life is going. And it can be simple things and it could be big things. Intuition is about living your life in a peaceful serenity way. Is your life always going to be peaceful and serenity? No, but you can get there step by step. So if you're interested in my signature course, it's on my website, and that's at www.lordlindsay.com, and it's in the show notes for this live. And if any of this resonated with you, I hope you share in the comments what's one way you're learning to trust yourself again. So until next time, beautiful souls, breathe deeply, move gently, and trust the quiet wisdom within you. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about you don't need more time, you need more safety. Sounds like central nervous regulation. You're going to find that's a common theme with me. So I'm just going to go in the chat to see if anyone has answered my question. My question was, what's one way you're learning to trust yourself? For me, one way is that I take a deep breath before I make a decision. I take a deep breath before I respond to somebody when I feel like I'm gonna, "Oh," at them. Taking that pause is so important. Elizabeth, I was so glad you're here. Elizabeth, you're a cherished friend. And Lynn, I'm so glad you're here too. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you. So feel free to add to the chat, even if this is not live anymore. How are you learning to trust yourself again? So join me every Tuesday at this time, and it's just a midday break, midweek break to reconnect with yourself. Next week, we're going to talk more about central nervous system integration. Lynn, yes, you are so welcome. She said, thank you. Pause and ask the body pendulum to confirm. Yep. Last week, we talked about the body pendulum. So if you're interested in learning more about the body pendulum, look through my videos. That was last week's True North Tuesday. And we also, last night, I had tech issues for Meditation Monday. And what we ended up doing was practicing our body pendulum. And there were a few new people who hadn't experienced the body pendulum. So if you're interested in body pendulum, look that in the comments, and I can share a little bit more with you about it, or watch my video from last week. So I'm so glad you're here. Some people are just jumping on, and I think it's great. Those of you that are looking in that haven't tapped the join but are just watching, welcome to you too. Join me next week, and we're going to continue this journey. So love and light to all of you. I hope you all have a blessed day.